back. Summer movie season is right around the corner, and here now to give us the scoop on all the big summer blockbusters is the host, the co-host of Ebert and Roeper, film critic Richard Roeper. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody. Tony.
And to help us out, you know them from the balcony of the Muppet Show. Please welcome our guest movie critics, Statler and Waldorf.
Well, hang on a minute.
Right. Yes.
You know something?
Yes.
I've lost Waldorf.
Yeah.
I don't know, he was parasailing yesterday and he got his thong caught in the tow rope.
Oh, is that right? Well,
yes.
my money's on him. He's going to show up. How you doing, Richard?
I hope they're not feuding.
Oh, look, here he is.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Are you all right?
Oh, yes. Oh, Tony, good to see you.
You too, Waldorf. How are you, okay?
We're all right.
Okay. Old, yeah.
Yes.
Please,
I
I
love
get
doing
that.
Taxi Driver.
Yes, but wait a minute. Robert De Niro was in Taxi Driver. Tony was in Taxi.
Oh, well, I loved you in Look Who's Talking.
Travolta was in Look Who's Talking. Tony was in Who's the Boss.
Wait a minute, you mean they're three different guys?
That's right.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Tony. I didn't like you in anything.
That's more like it. That's more like it. So, Richard, let's go through some
I
movies.
can't top that.
No,
I have
you
to
can't
leave.
go
Good
there.
night, everybody.
How are you, by the way, before
I'm
we
doing
start?
great. Hey, listen, real quick, I want to congratulate you for Crash, your scene in that film. If people haven't seen that movie, it's the best movie that came out that's out so far this year, and you have a great scene.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a terrific movie. Paul Haggis, great guy. Okay, well, anyway, again, it proves my point about my acting. I'm good in small doses. Anyway, here we go. Let's talk about the big movie that's coming next weekend.
Okay.
Everybody's ready for this. Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith.
And aren't you glad that Mike Tyson doesn't have to say that?
Imagine.
Revenge of the Sith.
Could you imagine? The Revenge of the Sith.
This is the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back 25 years ago. It's darker, it's got more action, it's got more heart, it's got better performances. I mean, the last two Star Wars movies, let's face it, snoozers for a lot of people.
They sort of
but this one is fantastic. George Lucas has really brought the franchise to a great conclusion.
What do you guys think?
Well, you know what I like about these new Star Wars movies?
No, what's that?
They're finally over.
Oh! Yeah. Yes.
I agree. All right, next, Batman Begins.
Oh, yes.
Batman Begins. We know we get the Katie Holmes thing. We're going to ask Glynis McCants later if that's real or not. So we're going to go do.
If Katie Holmes is a real person, or
well,
the relationship
is
Tom
real.
Cruise.
But she's in this movie.
Yeah,
Batman.
well, and this takes us to the beginning. How it shows us how actually Batman becomes Batman.
Is this Christian Bale?
This is Christian Bale, who's a great actor. Not known to a lot of audiences, but he's been in a lot of good films.
Yeah.
A terrific actor. So we're going to go back to the beginning of the story. It's directed by Christopher Nolan, who did Memento, which was a great film. So there's a lot of great potential.
Really?
with
So
this.
you haven't seen this one?
I have not seen Batman Begins yet.
Yeah. Well, have you guys seen that one, Batman Begins?
Well, isn't this the 19th Batman movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but how can they call it Begins? He's older than we are.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's sort of like a prequel. It's a prequel, right?
Oh.
It's just
Yeah,
the
forget
beginning.
the Joker. He should be battling the geezer.
You know what? Any fool can save the world. Let's see him get service out of his HMO. Yeah.
Okay. All right. A big one that's coming. Speaking of Katie Holmes, her boyfriend. How about War of the World?
War of the World.
Yeah, I almost slipped into. I did this thing on Saturday Night Live. The Brooklyn Arts Players presents the War of the Worlds.
The War of the Worlds. Yeah, well, this has got this Tom Cruise guy who's trying to get a break in movies,
And
and Steven Spielberg, a novice director. So here you got Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise, the most expensive movie ever made.
Really?
And I'm sure you'll see that money on the screen because Spielberg knows what he's doing.
Do you have
I think it's $147.
They admit.
No, it's like upwards of $200 million.
Really? Wow.
Really?
What do you guys think of that?
Well, I tell you, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes romantically linked. Can you imagine that?
Not anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Say, can you imagine aliens invading her? That was a slow one, wasn't it?
Yes, it takes a while.
Sometimes
Can you
it takes a
imagine
while.
aliens invading Earth?
No, I'm not afraid of little green creatures. I've worked with a frog for years.
Now they're back. They're back.
They're back. All right, what about?
They're back.
I'm interested in this one because I was a kid growing up. I watched this show, Bewitched.
Bewitched, and Nicole Kidman looks a lot like Elizabeth Montgomery. If you've seen some of the stills from that,
twitch her nose, too.
which is quite a trick. It's better than showing your abs in a lot of places.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
And this has got Will Ferrell, who's just on a roll right now. He's like the top comic star in America, and he's actually playing an actor who's playing Darren in a TV update of Bewitched. And Nicole Kidman plays the witch, but she really is a witch. So it's like a movie within a movie on top of a movie wrapped around a movie.
You guys into movies within movies?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. Well, I'd marry a witch if she looked like Nicole Kidman.
Heck, I'd marry Will Ferrell if he looked like Nicole Kidman.
All right, last one. How about, I'm really interested in this one, too, because I've been watching the...
I gotta tell Roger, I got some new co-hosts.
Yeah,
Hey, really? He needs to take a break. I love him, but, you know, come on.
I've been watching the previews of this one, the trailer for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
You know, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Looks like they had a lot of fun on the movie.
Well, I understand they never talked to each other on the set. They didn't talk.
Yeah,
They may have done.
Hey, that's not I ain't touching that one.
Allegedly, you know.
No, but it does look like they had a lot of fun. I mean, in the scene, the chemistry
they
looks
play
like...
assassins who are married to each other who are assigned to kill each other.
Right.
So kind of like Prizzi's Honor. Remember that movie?
Yes, I do. And evidently, that's another big budget movie with a lot of special effects and stuff, right?
Yeah, and you know, they actually are two very fine actors. You take all the tabloid stuff aside, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, two of our best actors.
What do you think of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, men?
Well, I don't know. Statler, what did you think of Brad Pitt in this movie?
Who?
Brad Pitt, the guy with Angelina Jolie.
You mean there was a guy with Angelina Jolie? Where?
In the movie.
There was a movie? It's funny, all I could see were lips. I don't know.
Listen, we got to work together more often, guys. I appreciate you coming.
Forget you. I'd like to be in a spy movie with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Make two of us.
Me too, but with my luck, she'd probably play Dr. No.
They talk you into this. Well, listen, check your local listings for Ebert and Roeper, and the Muppets Wizard of Oz airs on the 20th, May 20th on ABC. Richard, thank you. We'll be right back. Guys, thank
you. Next, The Bachelor Charlie O'Connell previews tonight's finale. And later, numerologist to the stars, Glynis McCants reveals what your numbers say about your love relationships.